Uh,
All right.
hello, Twiggle. Welcome to
Hey, how's it going?
welcome to Poison Talks. Um,
Yeah.
so I've been doing this Poison Talks thing for a minute, like a little interview series with some friends and smaller streamers. But you are my first guest who needs no introduction, really. But for those who might not know, Twiggle is the Spelunky guy, the #1 Spelunky streamer, English speaking. He's the guy. You're the guy.
Well, how's it going? I don't like to put myself up on a pedestal like that, but I like streaming Spelunky and watching Spelunky. So
Yeah, dude.
thanks for having me.
Yeah. So why Spelunky, or why streaming, or what got you here? Tell me a little bit of the Twiggle backstory that got you into this whole streaming thing.
Yeah, sure. So I bought Spelunky HD in like 2013. It was on like super sale. I think it was during Christmas. It was like $2. And on those Steam Christmas sales, you just sort of impulse buy a lot of games that are like 90% off.
Sure.
And Spelunky was one of them. And then I started playing it, really liked it, and then I got all the achievements, watched all the tutorial videos online, but I still liked it even after getting all of the achievements.
Sure.
So I started streaming in 2014, like late 2014.
Dang. Okay.
And let's see, I streamed in 2014, 2015, 2016 for a while. Not very often, and I wouldn't even stream like with my microphone on or anything. And then I didn't start streaming more than like a couple hours a week until the second game came out. And so the second game came out on PS4, as you know, for the first 2 weeks.
Right.
So I streamed like directly from my PS4. And I think a big thing that got a lot of viewers turned on to me is I was like trying to figure out secrets and stuff on stream, and I think a lot of the big Spelunky 2 streamers were wanted to do it blind, so they were like spoiler free. So I put in my title like, you can talk about theories and spoilers and secrets and stuff. So I think that's why I sort of gained a lot of traction at the beginning, and then after that I was going for like $7.99 the first clear with
Sure.
Nocturo. Also, he was going for it really hard too. So that was really fun. Like the first month was like the most fun I think I've ever had going for a video game achievement. And then since then I've just been consistently streaming and playing Spelunky.
Yeah. I mean, I remember reading like some random, I don't know, BuzzFeed article or something like new super hard game Spelunky is taking the gaming world by storm, whatever. But I remember reading like there's a man named TwiggleSoft and a Korean streamer named Nocturo who are going back and forth, and I'm just like, that's so cool. And then as I started to enter the Twitch sphere and play Spelunky myself, like, and started watching your content, it's like I first caught you on like one of your Spelunked compilations on YouTube, and I'm like, this dude's really funny. And I remember I remember thinking like it was the first couple Spelunked videos, like the very first one, there was no face cam, there was no chat, it was just like you and Spelunky. And we the fans got to watch your content kind of evolve to get you a little more into it, And that's just a super cool, I don't know, experience to follow. It feels like that's what Twitch is. We get to go on your journey with you a little bit in some way,
Yeah, that's true. And I've definitely been more I sort of switched like for the first 2 weeks, for like the first month, I guess. I was I wouldn't have considered myself a streamer or a content creator or anything like that.
Sure.
But yeah, it wasn't until like the third or fourth week where I was like, hey, I could actually start doing this. And then I started making videos, those Spelunked videos. Because I've always liked editing videos.
Of course.
And then, I thought of new entertaining ways to spice up the stream and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Up to and including you sharing your dog's food. which
That was. I still don't know why I did that.
I mean, we suffer for our art, don't we? Like I did a charity stream last week where I ate like 30 Pop-Tarts and was incredibly sick afterwards. So is that even better than dog food?
Pop-Tart. I mean, yes, way better.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right.
I wish I thought of that. Pop-Tart.
But yeah, dude, it's been fun watching you build like your community around you and becoming. It's probably weird to hear still, but famous. Like to all of us random viewers in chat, you are the famous guy. And has that really like? Does that ever sink in, or do you just still like close the stream and go back to I'm just a dude, or like what's your opinion on how fame has affected you? Has it?
Not really. I mean, I guess the only thing that has changed is if I didn't have like as many viewers, I wouldn't be streaming as much, but I feel like that's kind of obvious. Like, yeah, like I used to stream, but it was only like 1 or 2 hours a day at most. Sure. I used to go a couple of weeks without streaming, maybe. I feel like that's how most, hobby streamers are. They just sort of stream when they want to, which is cool. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome how easy it is to set up, really, once you get OBS installed and everything.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, famous is kind of a big word for it. I guess Spelunky has always had like a really hardcore fan base. I think it's the same for Isaac, right? Any of these like really hard roguelikes.
Yeah,
a lot of roguelikes are like that. And because they're roguelikes, people keep going back to them and keep playing them for like hundreds of hours more than a regular game, because you get sick of playing the same thing over and over in a regular game, non-roguelike.
Right.
Where was I going with that? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, in fame, when I use the word, you use the word, it's all relative, right? Like, I've only been doing this a couple months, and I'll pop into other smaller Spelunky streamers sometimes, and they'll be like, oh my god, it's Poison, you're famous. And I'm like, no, honey, no. But then, like, I'll come to you, and it's like, Twiggle's famous, and you're like, I'm just a dude, and then you can go and watch whatever big streamer and be like, you're famous. And then they get off stream, and it's... I don't know, it's like a hierarchy, but it really feels like that's part of the cool thing about building a Twitch community,
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, and something I've always admired about you is that you've built a very positive community on a website that not every community is like that. Like, is there anything you've done specifically to like foster the kind of community you want? Because you're a very you're a family friendly dude, and
so a couple of things on that. My nephews sometimes so my brother and my nephews sometimes watch my stream. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't swear on my stream.
Sure.
Also, something I've realized in the last couple months is like your chat reflects what you say and like the attitude you have. So like if you put yourself down a lot, then you'll start seeing like your chat putting you down, and then that's not good.
I've learned that.
Or if you I don't know, just like blame RNG more than you should, your chat will start doing that. It's hard to explain, but just sort of your overall attitude and outlook for the game and what you're streaming sort of reflects on chat, I guess, for the most part.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's something I love about this Spelunky community is everywhere I go, like any viewer I watch, I don't think there's a single like bad seed in the whole place, aside from my chat. Relax, I told you to be nice to me. But it's all like lifting each other up, and it's all positivity, and it's all like we're in the same lunky grind together. We're all getting killed in insane ways over and over again.
Yeah, that's another thing. It definitely has to do with the game. I used to play a lot of League of Legends and watch League of Legends. I still watch it. I don't play it ananymore, but
you turned out like this. That's amazing.
Competitive games, and I imagine it's the same for like Counter-Strike, Overwatch, whatever. It is 100 times more toxic just because of the nature of the game itself. So yeah, like you were going back and saying, like we're all suffering and struggling and lifting each other up because it's such a hard game, and so many unfortunate events can happen.
Yeah, it's rallying around a common enemy, so to speak.
Right,
But
yeah.
but yeah, that's and you said you have a like a history in liking roguelike games. What did you play before this? Like, what really caught your eye, and how did it help prepare you for, I guess, spelunky fame, if we're gonna keep calling it that?
Uh, let's see. I like roguelikes that don't have the, meta progression. And I know, like, it can be fun. I do like those types of games like Hades.
Sure.
Has meta progression, but it also has like a twist where you can add difficulty. But yeah, I've always liked the Necrodancer.
Necrodancer's
You start
dope.
your run from like a fresh run. You start with nothing. Same thing with Nuclear Throne. I love that game. What else is there? I played a bit of Noita back in the beta, but I think actually Spelunky HD was one of the first roguelikes that I got into back in 2013.
Yeah, like that and Isaac did a lot to pave the way for all the roguelikes that have come after it in a big way, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I guess a follow-up question. Aside from gaming, I don't know. Give me like a brief glimpse, whatever you're comfortable with, into your life outside of gaming. Like I know you've said on stream that you have lived in Germany and Korea. Like you're a worldly sort of fella.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, my dad's work had us go all around the world. So I lived in Germany and Korea. That's pretty much, yeah, those are the two places outside the US that I've lived. And that was fun and interesting. I was majoring in computer science. So I programmed some stuff. I like making games for fun. I like watching movies.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know. I'm not a super interesting person.
Well, and that's one of the other cool things about Twitch is we get to project whatever side of ourselves, whatever parts of ourselves we'd like to give out there, and the rest, it's okay if it's a mystery. I'm kind of boring too. Like when I get off stream, I just kind of just watch other Twitch streamers and go back to being a server at a restaurant. But when we're here, we get to mold our own image that we like, and I think that's, I don't know, it's working for me. It's working for you.
Yeah, for sure.
But something you didn't mention, I've noticed that you're a bit of an artiste. I've seen your streams, your YouTube stuff where you've drawn bosses from Spelunky and such.
Oh yeah.
Chat, relax. We'll take viewer questions in a little while. But there's something. There's one item in particular I'd like to really ask you about. Can we watch a quick YouTube video together?
Go for it.
Okay.
Pretty sure I know which one you're talking about, but yeah, you may not want to watch the entire thing on Twitch, but up to you.
Yeah, we can chance it. So this is the oldest video on Twiggle's YouTube, entitled Post-Nuclear Tubbytronic Superdome. And did you make this whole thing yourself?
Yeah. Well, not the music. The music is just some royalty-free song I found.
Well, this is well, we can post the link to it in chat. Whatever. You watch Left 4 Dead streams is worse than this.
Yeah.
But your life has no meaning. Submit. Anyway, I suppose that's enough of that. Twiggle, I'd like to ask on behalf of all of chat, what the heck?
Okay, listen, it's art. You can't explain this high artistic, these high artistic visions on stream. You gotta have the viewer think about it a little. No, but really, I was really bored. It was I think it was in between semesters.
The tonal shift.
And I don't know if that was during COVID or before COVID or something, but I wasn't doing anything. And yeah, thought it was fun. Do you know who C Boyardee is?
I don't. Well, unless you're talking about Ravioli.
Well, yeah. So he made a series called Dilbert, an animated series. You should totally watch it. It's hilarious. but he's a big inspiration. I also like
C-Boy-R-D.
I like animating for fun, like for my games. I like animating, even though I'm not a good like illustrator, drawer, but I like just how animations work, and yeah, I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah, and I mean it's something I've picked that up, just the way you get into the little spelunky drawings you've drawn, and the way like I'm trying to say this without like sounding like I'm just flattering you, but you seem like you have the eye of an artist, the way you edit your spelunk moments. Like I can tell there's a lot of thought that goes into it. It's not just toss the clips up. It's like there's a flow to it, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks, I guess. Yeah.
Thanks, I guess. Do you have any more projects like in mind that you'd really like to do? Do you have anything for the future that's like, oh man, if I had the time, or if I thought there'd be what's in the future for Twiggle? I guess.
Regarding what exactly? Like
yeah, just
side
like
projects or streaming or YouTube or.
I was thinking like, is there anything you have in the artist pipeline? Any more Teletubby sequel videos?
Oh, not planned. Those things just come up, you know.
Yeah. Well,
I also loved, like, growing up. I watched a ton of Newgrounds stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Just sort of old Flash animations.
For sure.
Those were, yeah. Those I still think a lot of those are amazing, even though they're really crude and, like, you know, the animation is pretty horrible. They're really interesting and have great ideas. I don't know. I really miss Flash. Those, you know, just sort of animations that anyone can make. I feel like that's sort of going out of, not out of style, but just going out of the internet culture. So,
yeah,
I guess.
Do you think part of that might be because we have all these tools available to us, like Premiere, and like because the floor has risen so much that anyone can make stuff look good without knowing as much? Or do you think it's a cultural thing?
It might be a mix of both of them, but I think one of them is just that. Well, first of all, Flash is gone. Like, you can't. Yeah. Chrome doesn't support Flash. But another thing is, back in like the mid 2000s, there were like only certain websites that had a lot of people on them, like Newgrounds, Miniclip, I guess, and anyone could submit, and you got like anyone would get a huge amount of eyes on it, right? Now it's spread out, and if you have no followers, nobody's gonna watch or play or do anything with your content, right?
Right.
So I think that's another thing, is just people don't get to see creations from people that don't already have a following.
Right. It's cool that we live in an age where anyone online can have a voice, but that also means the market is oversaturated. Like, unless you get really lucky, like for example, getting rated by TwiggleSoft on your second week, then it's hard to get your voice heard, even though if you have that voice, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Shifting gears a little bit though, let's talk about a little more Lunky. I'm curious because I've asked everyone who's been on this. Is there anything that stands out in your streaming career so far, especially with Spelunky, that's like your favorite moment, or like any big thing that's happened that it's like, oh yeah, that's one for the ages?
Just my first 799 clear is pretty much always going to be my favorite Spelunky moment.
Oh, for sure.
Just because of just the grind, you know, at the beginning.
Oh, for sure.
It's so hard.
It's so hard, and there's like, you can't go on and look up a YouTube tutorial for like Vlad's Cape Keelan skip. Is just like, we don't even know what Keelan is yet, and just figuring out each step, that was super cool to watch. But you led the pack with that.
Yeah, and it's actually awesome with the Korean community too, because we had like a bunch of new strats were being figured out every day and stuff, and we'd have like Korean to English liaisons, you know?
Sure.
I don't know who came up with it, but the cloning the Sun Challenge bag wasn't figured out until probably later than you might think. Like, nobody just nobody thought of it. But once we did, that was a big turning point in the cosmic ocean because having all those extra resources.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I mean, what was the clone gun used for before that? Just like, oh, let's get 3 extra health a month.
Pretty much. I mean,
let's clone Humphead. Let's clone the fish.
Yeah, I think so. I think we were cloning fish. I think we were cloning the present boxes probably. I think one thing I was looking out for was like finding a bomb bag or a bomb box in a crate and then cloning that on the same level, you know?
Or play, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say play co-op and kill your partner and take all their stuff and clone it. No, it didn't work. There wasn't any online co-op. It's fine.
Right, yeah. That came out way later.
Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time on my stream. Spelunky is a content factory. And every few minutes there's something happens that is like, oh, that's funny enough to share and funny enough to pull up. And I think, do you think we just got lucky picking a game like that? Or do you think that, like...
I mean, I certainly feel lucky that the Spelunky 2 especially is... Because I have a lot of people that say they've never even played the game, but it's just so entertaining to watch because I think a big difference between this one and the first one is the art style. And I wasn't actually a big believer in the art style because I played the first one so much.
Right.
But going back to the first one now, everything just looks muddy and really dark for some reason. And it's hard to tell and stuff, but just watching the second game is a delight. And
it really is.
It's just really clear what's happening. Even, I don't know, even if you don't play the game, you can tell when someone pulls off a cool maneuver or a cool platforming trick.
Oh, for sure.
It's awesome.
Yeah, whenever I get someone in chat who's just like, they'll hang out, they'll chat for a little bit, and they'll be like, by the way, what's this game? I'm like, you've been watching it for this long? It's like, pretty. But it's I love it because it's the kind of game that I could, like, I gave it to my cousin. He's just like, this is amazing. I can't beat the dwelling, but this is amazing. And then you get good at it, and it's like, oh, I can almost kill Tiamat. And then it's like, oh, I can almost kill Hundun. And there's so many levels of progression, but every single one is valid, you know? It's just a beautiful game.
That's also, I forgot to mention this, but that's also something why I feel kind of weird about the meta progression stuff, because like once you do enough grinding in those types of games, you become really powerful, and then I can never tell, like, am I getting better at this game or am I just getting more powerful and not really thinking about improving my gameplay? But with Spelunky, if you do a better achievement or you know, get further than you have, you know for a fact you've gotten better. So I think that's what brings people back, even people who aren't really interested in super difficult games. Right. It's that sense of accomplishment because of you start every run from scratch.
Yeah, a lot of roguelikes like it will be, or difficult games in general, like I Want to Be the Boshi, for example. You guys know Twiggle's the Boshi?
Yep.
Every time you jump in, it's just like, I'm going to kill you as hard as I can over and over and over. In Spelunky, you jump in, it's like, oh, I can do things to start. Like, oh, I rescued a dog for the first time in my first 10 minutes of playing. Like, oh, I whipped an enemy. That was cool. And everything you do is so satisfying. I think that's been one of the great boons for the Spelunky player that makes you want to keep coming back, because even the runs you fail, like, usually you can do something cool. It's like, oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, for sure. Also, just a side note, I think the platforming in Spelunky 2 is pretty much perfect, like, if not the best platforming I've ever played.
Oh yeah.
It's not the platforming that really causes hiccups, it's the enemies, the trap interactions, you know? Like, once you have enough experience, it's almost never, you know, platforming that's the issue. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, that's very true. Some would say it's RNG, but every time I die in Spelunky, I'm like, yeah, that was my fault somehow.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it really is just RNG, but...
Yeah, what can you do? Sometimes you get hit by a flying caveman, it blows up your jetpack, but you still get world record, you know. By the way, exclamation point Twiggle in chat if you haven't checked it out. Twiggle's new world record for score. What a hero this man is. We'll get to viewer questions in just a second, but
I'm gonna beat that soon, by the way.
I know.
12 mil.
So this little Poison Talks thing started as like my original idea for the title was how to get big on Twitch from a guy who's not big on Twitch, right? And it was like talking to other streamers about their success and helping me keep perspective in how I've gotten to where I am, wherever I am. But you're kind of you're kind of beyond that. How to get big on Twitch? You're kind of a big deal. So I know you don't know how to. You don't like me flattering you too much, but what would your advice be to someone who's just getting started, someone who's in my position where it's like, I'm affiliate and I'm doing well. Well, how do you get to the next level? What would you tell someone who wants to be just like you when they grow up?
I mean, I think a lot of it for me was like beyond already playing Spelunky HD and streaming and all those, allowing spoilers and stuff. I think a lot of it was just luck. I also don't do a lot of things that like could make me bigger. Like, I'm sort of a loner and I don't network a lot. I think if you want to reach your maximum audience that you possibly can, you should probably like I don't know. Yeah, network, talk to other streamers and stuff. Usually when I'm done streaming, I don't watch a lot of Twitch, or if I do, I'm just like a lurker, I never chat. But yeah, advice, I mean, like if you haven't streamed before and you want to, I'd say just go for it, because it's pretty easy to set up OBS and connect it to your game and start streaming. One thing to note is just don't expect anyone to watch pretty much for the first couple weeks. Yeah. If you've never streamed before, but if you have fun with it, I say just go for it. Yeah,
and that's a recurring theme when I've asked people, and it's definitely something like when I jumped in and started streaming, I'm like, I'll have 3 viewers and it'll be fine. But then my very first day of streaming, Derek Yu came down from the heavens and is like, hey, check out this new guy. And then like a week later, you came in and dumped 600 viewers on me. And so I consider like any success I have to be very, very lucky. But I don't think either of us have exactly a typical Twitch streamer experience. So,
I mean, I don't know about that, because I feel like a lot of people sort of, especially speedrunners, sort of get big that way. Like they pick up a game that they really like, they start streaming it, and then it just happens that game is sort of huge, bigger, reaches a bigger audience than they thought, and then I don't, they just go from there. I think after that, it's just consistency, like streaming as much as you can, and sure. Yeah, I mean, as long as you like it, just keep going for it.
Yeah, I think like I've had people message me and be like, oh my god, you're almost at whatever that next level is, like you could be partner, why don't you go and play some Apex Legends? People love that, and it's just like I couldn't do that. So I consider both of us lucky that we've caught on to something that means so much to us in a lot of ways, and I don't know, it's pretty cool that we're both here.
Another thing is like Spelunky is such a good game for streaming. Like, I love streaming Spelunky, and I play different games. I don't necessarily enjoy streaming other games, though. You know what I mean? Like, there's games where it's best just to play by yourself, I guess. Like, I'm playing through Doom 2016, and I'm having a blast with it, but I couldn't imagine streaming it. Because it's also awkward with if you have a current audience and it's sort of an old game, then you want to go in spoiler free, right? Then it's like, okay, who am I streaming this for exactly? I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but it feels weird. I think if I were to stream a different game for more than a couple days, it would definitely be a new roguelike. Sure. That is catching on.
I mean, there's this little game, Binding of Isaac Repentance. We can play it sometime. Just saying.
That's true. I have played Binding of Isaac. I never got into it though.
Oh, really? It's very good.
I've heard that from a lot of people. I don't know why I can't get into it.
I get the feeling you're going to continue hearing it for the next couple months, but that's all right.
Probably.
So yeah, we'll get into a couple viewer questions. I'll toss them in chat if you'd like, but one from the Discord and one that's very important to me. Twiggle. Yeah. Jetpack or Vladscape?
Vladscape.
Explain yourself, because I am offended.
You're offended?
I'm a jetpack guy, man.
I mean, the jetpack explodes. Is there anything? You have to be good at platforming to use Vladscape, or you have to get used to it. It takes some experience. It is a little bit slower, but you don't explode.
And double blood is nice. Yeah, sure.
Double blood. Yeah, that's another thing. Double blood, you can mitigate poison pretty much.
Mitigate poison.
Well, if you're in the cosmic ocean, yeah, and you get poisoned.
Yeah, it's true.
With
It's
Vlad's
true.
cake,
It's
you
true.
You can blood farm.
I know.
By the way, you got your first $7.99, didn't you? Recently.
I did with
Congrats.
the stupid
Very
red
big
cape,
congrats.
but thank you, man. It was
Wait, you got it with Vlad's cape?
yeah.
Okay.
I
I don't need to say anything.
Don't you bully me too, Twig. Come on.
I like the jetpack. I like using it.
Hey,
but,
I don't know if it's my
I always
attachment.
recommend.
Yeah, it's my HD attachment. I can't let it go. It's fine. Whatever.
Okay, yeah. I thought that too at first. But then you have to remember in HD, you could literally go in lava with a jetpack and nothing bad will happen to you. So you just have to think about how different the games are compared to the first one.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, here's a question I was meaning to ask myself. Tell me a little about Lola. What kind of dog is she?
So we got her from a family that couldn't take care of her when she was like 1, and they said she's a Schnauzer Yorkie, but she doesn't really look like either of them.
I can see the
I think
Yorkie.
I'm like 90% sure she's a mutt because I'm pretty sure she has some sort of terrier in her. But yeah, we got her when she was 1, and yeah, we haven't. I mean, I guess we could take her into the vet to get like a blood test, like a 23andMe sort of dog breed blood test. But either way, yeah.
Ah, she's cute. That's the important.
Yeah, for sure.
Viewer question: how can I be a good Spelunky 2 player?
Just practice. One thing I say a lot, if you haven't beaten like the normal game or the hard ending, you know, Hundun, I would say like experiment with the mechanics a lot and don't be afraid to die experimenting
Yes.
with something, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like if you're like, hey, can I grab onto Bramble with climbing gloves? Go for it. Even though you can't, if you could, that would be a you know, something you could take away from it.
Absolutely. We do a lot of science on the Poison Dive stream, and it rarely
By the way, I
goes
think
well,
you-
but you know, you learn.
I think you should be able to do that with the climbing glove.
I mean,
Grab onto
they're
the side of
gloves.
Bramble.
You can stomp on stuff with spike boots. You should break spikes with spike boots too.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you watch any anime? Or to extend the question, what? Give me like your top 3 favorite TV shows or animes or anything of all time. Ready, go.
Sure. My favorite TV show of all time is Breaking Bad,
Let's go.
and
That show's so
you
good.
know, Better Call Saul, which is still ongoing, which is awesome. Anime, I like Berserk. I've seen a couple anime. I don't like the. I like the anime where they act like actual people. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it other
Sure.
than that. Yeah, I like Berserk. I liked Death Note. I've watched that. That's a good one. What else have I seen? One that's not. I don't know if it's super popular, but Bacano is like a short. It's like 13 episodes. It's really fun watch. TV shows. I watched Dexter, and I liked the first like 3 seasons.
Right.
But after that, wasn't a big fan.
Okay, that's
I
good
don't know.
stuff.
I don't watch a lot of TV shows. I'll watch a lot of movies though.
Okay. Okay. Then the last question, we can move on. Favorite movie?
Oh,
Don't think. Just toss out the first thing that comes to your mind.
I would say The Lighthouse. Pretty recent movie, like 2019, I think.
That's the one of the time traveler or something?
No, it's like a. I think it's black and white, but it's with Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
I don't know if it was super popular, but it was online. It's awesome.
Oh, that's the lake house. That's Keanu, right? It doesn't matter. Viewer question. What's your favorite non-skin mod?
Non-skin mod. Oh,
Yes.
I liked the remix mod. Honestly, I have mods to play that I haven't touched yet, like Oliver's mod. I haven't played yet. I need to go back to John Lunky.
Mhm.
There's
Fair.
the randomizer for Overlunky that I haven't touched yet.
Oh, randomizer's a blast. I think we're gonna be playing some randomizer after this, chat. Stick around. Yeah, I feel like the way I've modded Spelunky is the way I mod a lot of other games. Like, it's like, oh, let's get it to look as cool as we can and be as crazy, but then don't actually change anything.
Yeah. There are some really high quality skins and texture mods though. Like,
Oh, very true.
from like professional artists. It's awesome.
Yeah, you ever see the Pac-Man mod that some guy made? It's really beautiful.
See, I'm pretty sure I've seen you play it. Yeah, it looks cool.
I made it myself. That's the joke.
Oh, okay. I mean, it is cool though.
Thank you. Thank you. One last question from the Discord. Why Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Oh, I watched it growing up. I loved it, and I mean that's pretty much it. I love that show. I've always loved it. It's sort of like when you're a kid and you watch that show, it sort of like unnerves you, but you can't take your eyes off of it, you know?
Right.
And I think
right.
that's a big reason why I loved it. Is it wasn't boring, you know?
Right.
Really interesting, sort of scary too. Yeah.
That's fair. Well, cool.
Yeah, man.
I guess then, any parting thoughts? Anything you'd like to say to the Poison Pals before you go? Or to
Happy
me?
Easter.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
It
you.
was fun.
Twiggle, thank you so much for hanging out. I feel like I'm kind of preaching to the choir if I say, hey chat, go follow at TwiggleSoft on Twitch. Shout outs to Twiggle. If you're here, you probably figured out who Twiggle was a while ago, but yeah, we look forward to more Lunky from you. And after the break, I'm gonna be going to play some randomizer. Everybody, Twiggle. Round of applause for Twiggle. We're gonna go on a quick break, and
All right.
we'll be back.